I'd like to gauge your response to some visual stimulation.
Come on! Hey everybody, what's up? How's it going? Good evening. What's up, Awali, Alma, Trop, Daya, Crash and Karibo? How's it going, everybody? NQ, NQG420, Logical Calamity, done Devimon. Yeah, so I haven't done one of these before. What's up, Pedro? Kaustiv, is that how I'm saying that? Sketchnificent, hi, saw you joined the Discord today, thank you. Or earlier this morning, my time. So I haven't really done this before, and I've been toying with how I do adventure. And initially what I wanted to do was talk about the arcs individually, and just leave it until the show's finished, but or at least do each arc, and then do like, sort of 20 episodes at a time or whatever. But I feel like that's just going to take so long, and it's going to kind of miss the zeitgeist. So I figured, why not every Sunday just talk about the episode, any other Digimon news there might be, and then maybe, retroactively we can go back and talk about chunks of episodes on a live stream. There's definitely arcs, Cody. There's 100% arcs. Anyone that says there aren't is not watching the show. Basically, every time the ED changes is a new arc. But yeah, I'm doing good, Crush and Krubo. I'm doing good. So this episode, and I'm going to be honest with you, just out the gate. Who's my mods? I've already got a few. I don't know if they're here. I might end up modding some more people. We'll see how that goes. Shouldn't really need any though. Enjoy it whenever you post a video. Thank you so much. This episode for me was a little disappointing. And I'm someone who's generally enjoying this season. I don't know, man. I don't know how everyone else feels. I feel like the general feeling is that it wasn't wonderful. It could have been better. And yeah, I kind of agree. So we've known since last week. Obviously, this is full spoilers for Digimon Adventure 2020. Obviously, I don't know why you'd be here if you weren't. We've known since last week that Blitz Greymon was going to play a part, and I said last week, it's weird because it feels like a really Koshiro heavy episode. So why is it Blitz Greymon's debut? And I was like, oh, maybe it was like a bait and switch. Maybe we're not going to see Blitz Greymon. This feels super, super, super Koshiro heavy. This is awesome. And then Blitz Greymon just kind of showed up. And it felt really, like, unearned. Like, say what you will about other Digivolutions or whatever. I've pretty much enjoyed all of them. If Blitz Greymon is the same level as War Greymon, like, it wasn't really earned. Nothing really, like, exciting happened. Like, he went near some lightning. And it just felt very underwhelming for such a sort of exciting reveal that we've theorized was happening for a while because of the Digivice, because of this thing. To just kind of happen. And I love Blitz Greymon too, Emma. Blitz Greymon's a super cool Digimon. But it just didn't feel like it got the spotlight it deserved. I also feel like it's happening really out of order because Matt hasn't even had Metal Garurumon yet by the time Tai has had 2 Megas. And I know it's the Tai and Matt show. But my god. Yeah, it was a lot of Izzy, and it was all about Izzy's knowledge, and yeah, there was no cool... I mean, they might get a cool evolution like sequence later. My current working theory is that they're going to do Blitz Greymon kind of how they did War Greymon, where War Greymon initially appeared as kind of like a purifying light against Mugendramon. So maybe, I don't know, like they're going to do a full sequence of Blitz Greymon. Even like Alterous mode got more of a important moment. Like, compare Alterous mode with the Dark Miasma and all that stuff getting all covered up with what happened with Blitz Greymon. I don't know, man. If Blitz Greymon... So I don't think Blitz Greymon is just once for one very simple reason. And again, this is spoilers for the Digivice, so this whole live podcast thing is about spoilers. There is Blitz Greymon, Crest Garurumon, and Alter S in this Digivice. So I believe Alter S is probably going to be an endgame thing. Just side evolution is a fine thing to say when they have, if in a show that doesn't have Alterous mode, which is also just side evolution kind of, it's a mode change. So when a mode change gets more focus than a mega, even a side evolution of a mega, it's kind of crazy. What I did like this episode was the whole climbing the tower thing. I think that was really interesting. I liked the Koishiro in space kind of stuff. And I just wish this was the Hercules Kabuterimon episode. There is kind of a cheeky little nod. I think it's in the character profile for Blitz Greymon, where Koshiro is like, man, I wish Atla Kabuterimon would go to Mega, and I'm like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing here. Yeah, Trop, I think Blade Kuagumon's fine. I think Metal Life Kuagumon looked really good here. It was nice to have it showed off. I've always been a little bit of a, not a big fan of Blade Kuagumon simply because it's a terrible Digivolution for Kokabuterimon. Blade Kuagumon. Hey, what's up? Cardistry, I learned Cardistry. Thank you so, someone said, I love your content. Thank you so much. The Sharon, or the Charon. I was going to say soft CH. But yeah, and that's the thing, Welly, it's a good point, is that, but all of our, a lot of our problems, or the fan, I don't know, I don't pay attention to fandom, you guys know me, I sit in my own little bubble and ignore people. But I think a lot of the criticism is often based on what the original adventure did. And I think that is a little unfair. I understand, obviously, when something's a reboot, you're going to naturally compare it to the original. But I think also, like, it would be, to me, it's the equivalent of watching Cross Wars and being like, well, they're not digivolving, that's weird. You know, like, they're doing different stuff. And if Digivolution isn't as big and intense in this, and it is something that is meant to be more kind of crazy, which kind of matches the card game, which is sort of the main merch for this season, where it's like up and down all around, and the V-Pets as well, you know? I think I'm okay with that. I don't think Digivolution necessarily has to be this massively earned thing that's like huge moments. I think the problem specifically with Blitz Greymon is that we've had Metal Greymon, Alterous Mode, and War Greymon that all felt way more earned, and then we didn't really for the others. Do you think the rest of the team will get side evolutions? Crescarumon, definitely. There's a chance we'll see Magnadramon. So according to, again, to this Digivice, the Mega for Gatomon is Ophanimon this time, which is cool. But apparently Magnadramon is in this, if I've read correctly, so maybe she will turn into Magnadramon once. Veedramon's also in this. It's getting harder to tell what's actually going to show up in the show and what's just fun for the Digivice. Veedramon shows up, that's crazy. Valdemon would be great. Plesiomon for... see, a Digimon is kind of like a cooler version of like a Pokemon or any other anime. Yeah, I want to talk about that as well. The Dark Nightmon thing with Gatomon. I don't think it's as clear-cut as a Digivolution. Gatomon did become Dark Nightmon, but the way that they're handling Dark Digivolution is bizarre in this show. It's the weirdest thing we've seen, I think. Because both with Mugendramon and with Dark Nightmon, it's more implied that, like, the good Digimon is inside the evil Digimon, less than them turning into it. Like, like, I'm fine with saying that Gatomon digivolved into Dark Nightmon, that doesn't bother me, and I'm fine with saying that Metal Greymon digivolved into Mugendramon, or Machinedramon, whichever you want. But it's like, the context is a little strange. Like, for example, Gatomon doesn't start digivolving into Dark Nightmon when she gets, like, all angry and red-eyed a couple episodes ago. She starts forming a Dark Nightmon aura around her that will presumably solidify into a Digimon. It's weird. It's weird. We get the new Omegamon form, as in Alter S. Oh, sorry, Skull Nightmon. Yeah, you're right. As in Alter S, or which one? Right, well, no, it's that's not the issue. I'm not talking about whether or not Digimon have darkness. I'm talking about that it's not standard Digivolution that we've seen before. Seems like a kind of possession. Yeah, it's sort of possession, and like when you become possessed, you get the. It's more like they're piloting a mech, right? It's like Gatomon is piloting the Skull Knightmon mech, and Metal Greymon is piloting the Mugendramon mech. But then they actually digivolve into like War Greymon and Angelwomon. Legit question: do you Devimon is correct division of Holy Digimon member / Angemon or Clavis Angemon? I don't know. I don't know if I think that. There is an implied past that they talk about with Devimon and Angemon. I think it's, unless they elaborate on it, I think it's more likely that, given the fact that Devimon is dead, I think it's more likely that Devimon is just a fallen Angemon or something like that. It would be cool if he was / Angemon or Clavis Angemon though. Yeah, that seems especially weird as well for me. I feel like this would have been a good opportunity to have more Salamon, because there's not really much reason for Gatomon to be a champion, even more so this season. Well, yeah, in this reboot than there was in Adventure. You think Mugendramon being a vital part of Millenniumon will play into effect with Agumon and him Dark Digivolving? I really don't know. This is the thing. I've kind of given up on. Hey, what's up, Mr. Yakov? I've kind of given up on theorizing this show, because sometimes I feel like the show is setting up a bunch of things that are going to happen, and like these little things are going to tie into these things. But then I also think maybe Millenniumon's just going to come back. Like the sort of Skull Knightmon thing was kind of set up and like was kind of recurring, and people were theorizing that it was like Dark Maildramon and stuff like that. And ultimately nothing like that crazy happened, and it's not fully explained even. Like they kind of touched on it a little bit about Gatomon and stuff. It's weird. I don't know. We're getting Rosemon. It's a Mimi focus episode, so I would imagine so, yeah. But the next time Digimon, the profile was on, it looks like Leomon, but it's possibly like Pangemon, or the other Digivolution of Leomon that looks like Leomon. Where's Wizardmon? Yeah, I think that is probably the sort of arc I miss the most, because they've still kind of done yeah, it could be Ice Leomon too. They've kind of done Dark Gatomon this season, but I much preferred the original Adventure interpretation of Gatomon, where like for whatever reason she was actually acting evil. Like she wasn't inside an evil Digimon or whatever. It wasn't some sort of possession thing. It was, enslavement essentially, but at least, it was more complex, I think. It wasn't Bancho. 100% wasn't Bancho. It was basically Leomon, whether it's like Pangemon or Regulusmon from V-Tamer, but it's probably just. With the Gatomon episode, I'm starting to whole idea of connecting this universe to the old one somehow is still possibly in the cards. Maybe. There's this talk constantly about how they used to know TK and Kari. Takeru and Hikari. It's possible. I don't think this is like a soft reboot where like Kizuna, because the setup would be really weird. I prefer this being its own universe. I wouldn't mind a crossover, like an Into the Taichi verse. I'd be okay with that. I've talked about that before. Oh well, we know it's Rosemon from the thing. I like Rosemon. Rosemon's fine. The episode had a great climate to introduce Hercules Kabuterimon. It was a shame to me. Yeah, and like they could have easily done both, because the runtime. This is another criticism I have of this episode is I like the idea. Hey, what's up, Ultima Kai? Thank you for coming out. I like the idea of like a bottle episode where it's all in one location. I think that's pretty cool. There's an episode of JoJo, actually. Jesus, am I really making this comparison? There's an episode of JoJo which felt a lot like this episode, because the episode of JoJo, Joseph Joestar and it's a Zappelli. Caesar. Of course it's Caesar. They have to climb the big thing, and like that's the whole episode. And that's kind of what this felt like. But I feel like if they'd have cut off some of that climbing, because like the Blade Kuwagamon come back like 3 times. The the Metal Life Kuwagamon keeps coming. If they'd have cut off like one of those little mini fights, they could have easily put Hercules Kabuterimon in here. And like Koshiro's whole like knowledge, like expanded brain, like he's like floating in the void, like, oh my god, whoa, like that whole thing. That could have been really cool as like a moment of like, you know, knowledge, which he kind of had in Original Adventure actually when he ended up in like Puppetmon or Piedmon's like miasma thing. It's been a long time since I've watched it. I say a long time, it's been like 5 years since I last watched Adventure. He's gonna show up and rip space time. Always okay to talk about more JoJo. Hope they give us surprise evolutions that are not spoiled. It wouldn't surprise me if there are some surprises in store, because the Digivice was always due to come out in December/January. So that would then, it would be strange if, it wouldn't be uncommon for it to spoil the whole season. I'm pretty sure it's happened before. But I feel like generally they limit it to something. So if we're assuming that everything in that Digivice would spoil the whole season, it's not unthinkable, but I still feel like there could be surprises for the last quarter. Victory Greymon, I don't see it happening. I feel like, again, maybe there's like some sort of weird final fight, but I don't see what Victory Greymon would add. But, you know. Sora stance must be livid. Yeah, the Sora things, again, it's tough to say because we're so used to Adventure being about all 8 kids. And I think that's where a lot of the, and quite rightly, I'm not saying it's wrong to think this way, but I do think if you consider that there are plenty of anime where there is a big cast of characters, but only 2 people are the like proper focus, like I don't know, like I don't watch enough anime, but like Death Note's got a bunch of characters, right? But the people you mainly are supposed to care about is Al and Light. I guess Dragon Ball has like, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing if Digimon has decided that rather than being an ensemble thing, it's a more protagonist-led season. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sure. Yu-Gi-Oh! You've got Yu-Gi, who's the one you care mostly about, but you've also got Joey Wheeler and T and all those other motherfuckers. Taya. That's literally Digimon Adventure in a nutshell. What? Well, no, because the original Adventure... Well, that's what I'm saying, is I'm saying that the original Adventure has a more even split. It is still the Ty and Matt show. But I'm saying it's not a bad thing if Adventure 2020 necessarily... Oh, Jesus. It's not necessarily a bad thing if the new season has gone deeper on that. I'm hoping that now we've had this sort of meeting up, we're going to see more, because we know that it's a Mimi focus episode. I can't remember the name of the rest of the episodes coming up, because I try to ignore episode listings. More like only the Thai show. I don't know if that's true. Again, and another problem is that we don't know what is happening with this season. We're halfway through right now, roughly, a little bit over half. A separation arc is not just because Ty has had focus for a while, and trust me, I've been missing the other kids, but it's very likely that we might just get like 6 episodes that are very Matt focused. It's hard to criticize and say it's the Ty show for me right now. Like, it can feel like it, but it's not a hard criticism from me because I can't say for sure that it doesn't open up later on. You know, right now I'm like, okay, Ty's good, I get it. Matt has been on Gurumon's back in some field for like 10 episodes. Yeah, Joe's been in that water for a while. He must be wrinkly. Right, exactly Z-Star. Like, it's okay in the moment to be frustrated that you're not getting as much characterization for the others or whatever, but it's very hard to say that it doesn't, to judge the whole process and know exactly where it's going at this stage. Yeah, I definitely think there should be more focus for other kids. Right, it's been hardly any time at all in the digital world, which is funny. And I mean, because we basically had back-to-back War Greymon, Blitz Greymon, as in there hasn't been any other significant Digivolutions. Oh, I guess Angewomon. Oh no, and Pegasusmon, huh? I'm full of shit. But I feel like we might get a lot of Matt focus and have Matt go to Metal Gurumon and Crest Gurumon. I think it was Trop in the Discord who said it's going to be interesting to see what the reason Matt becomes, or sorry, that Gabumon goes to Crest Gurumon will be. Because yeah, it's not significantly other than the virus attribute. Like environment wise, it isn't that different to Metal Gurumon. That's interesting. Wonder if we're getting a 30mon. I don't think we will, Mike. My only theory on the 30mon is we might get her at the end. Happy Valentine's Day, Kamen Rider. Matt is getting Super Saiyan. Yeah, he's in the time chamber. They're doing the process. I've seen Dragon Ball. Thoughts on Pegasus getting his own line? I don't know. I don't feel like Pegasusmon's going to Digivolve further. I'm pretty sure we're going to have Pegasusmon for the meantime. And then whatever event we're leading towards, we're going to get Angemon back. And then go Magna Angemon, Seraphimon. That will heal turn for a split sec. Maybe. I mean, it could just be Dark Miasma again. That's possible. There's no difference between War and Blitz. There is. There's quite a lot of difference between Blitz and War Greymon, conceptually, but how they're being used, yes, so far. But again, we've had a 30-second fight with Blitz Greymon, so it's hard to see. Hard to say, rather. Pegasusmon in the Digimonpedia at the end of the episode, it was not a champion. Yeah, because it's still... So they haven't so far contradicted the Digimon Encyclopedia. Because in the Digimon Encyclopedia, I believe all armors are listed as like, oh no, question marks. So I feel like that's like, there is still a mystery to Pegasusmon, but I don't necessarily think it's gonna be addressed. At least in this season. I feel like if they are setting up a 0-2, like maybe at some point someone in show will be like, yo, Pegasusmon is like an ancient Digivolution, or it's like, you know, it normally requires a Digimental, or whatever it may be, and they're like, that shouldn't be, how did you do that? And then that like sets up 0-2 or something. Matt and TIE fighting would be interesting. I think that's something, I think we need a little bit, I think we need TIE to be a little bit less John Cena, and just the best all the time, or a little bit less Roman Reigns, I guess, just the best all the time. And I feel like we maybe need to see Matt have a couple more wins. Not just in battle, but, you know, strategy-wise. Mess up the timeline. At first it was the digital world being faster than the real one, but now I don't understand how time works anymore in there. So I believe the digital world is still ahead. But because they're near networks. And I think the closer to the network you get, the closer to real time you are. So I think because Koshiro was near the network, it kind of folded how much the time disparity was. Does Taichi become a Mary Sue? No, I don't think so. If only because I don't think he's an insert for the author. I don't think the showrunners are trying to be Taichi. He's I don't know. He's there, but I don't think he's that bad. I think he definitely needs more sort of weak moments and, you know, stuff like that for being a full Mary Sue. Sorry, to stop him from being a full Mary Sue, so I say. All armor listed as, are they listed as armor in the reference book? What am I thinking of then? Oh, that's probably what, sorry, that's what I meant, as in they're not categorized as champion or ultimate. So they wouldn't want to go against that because armors don't exist in this show, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So they're not going to say that Pegasusmon is a champion or is a rookie or is an ultimate or whatever, because that doesn't align with what the reference book says. So I think, I don't know, it's tough to say whether or not they're going to lead that into actually talking about armors. I don't know. Don't see many flaws. Tai doesn't have a lot of flaws. No, I know they left it question mark in the show. he was better. He was more complex early on. I think the bit with Megendron was good, and I was kind of hoping that was going to be his sort of fatal flaw, was pushing Agumon too far. And I think that's a good thing that he has done a few times, and I'm like, oh, I like that. But a lot of the time now, it just feels like he pushes him too far and he wins. And that's not great. Armor's, yeah, it's around champion. Maybe a little under, a little over, depends. I mean, Magnamon and Golden Rapidmon are into the Ultimate Mega category. Oh. I thought the armor was supposed to be kind of a midpoint between Champ Ultimate. Yeah, my power scaling is ridiculous for me. I just, whatever the episode says. How long do you think we'll get Holy Angemon if he's showing up Blatus Raphimon is not going to be in much? I don't know. Again, it could be an episode, could be 10. I don't know. I don't have any predictions for this show anymore because it just keeps throwing out random bullshit. Like, I did not think Blitzgreymon would be now, you know? See some flaws in the characters. Yeah, and I mean, we've had flaws. I think Joe's episode is one of the best character moments in Digimon. Well, no, one of the best character introductions in Digimon. I think Joe's first episodes, I think, are really solid. Made me like this Joe better than the original Joe. Ice Hero Complex and Recklessness was a great touch in the original show. Right, yeah. I think we need, like, a Skull Greymon moment from Classic Adventure for a new tie, like Megendramon almost kills him. Yeah, I think that's probably the weak point of the Megendramon episode, is that it didn't last long enough, I guess. I feel like they maybe could revisit Megendramon. That would probably make Tai feel a little bit more. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I don't think Joe was weak, but I don't agree that Joe was always a good character. There are moments in Adventure where Joe is very annoying. Less so in the sub, but still there are solid moments where he's super fucking annoying. To the detriment of episodes at times. Like I say, there's also a lot of, like, Adventure is amazing discourse now, and I'm like, Adventure is a really good toy commercial that did really well for itself, but is far from flawless. I feel like this kind of pedestalizing of the original event, like, original Adventure is really solid, don't get me wrong, it's like, you know, one of the best seasons of the anime, of the show's history. But, like, this kind of, like, rose-tinted nostalgia goggles that, like, everything it's ever done in Adventure is really good is like, alright, let's just chill. Not every show is flawless. Joe was annoying at first, but got good. Finding Joe annoying, can't relate. That's the beauty of opinion, Dre. It's subjective. Crazy. Most of Rosemon teaser. Yeah, I think we're looking at Rosemon. It would be strange for me to, well, again, but this is a fucking Koshiro focused episode, and we got Blitzgreymon and like a shadow of Hercules Carboterimon, so who knows? Let the Vadermon do something. That was weird. The Vadermon cult of Millenniummon. Think they're gonna come back? Pretty sure they're gonna come back. Bancho Lilithmon? I doubt it. Cool though. Joe felt like a bit of a scaredy cat in Adventure 1. Yeah, I mean, I'd love it if they did alts. As far as we know, they're not in the Digivice, but it would be cool. Redesign for one of the Megas? We've already seen them, so no, probably not. We've already seen the shadows of Hoemon. I mean, maybe minor tweaks, but we've already seen they were more than shadows. We basically saw them all. I mean, it's possible that they Digivolving now, they might change how they look, but I think it's unlikely. Lopmon. Yeah, I feel like that's not the last we're going to see of Lopmon. Although maybe it is. Well, we'll definitely see, presumably we'll see Lopmon towards the end. Main thing I was disappointed with in this was the evolution animation for Blitzgreymon. Well, again, if you remember, the technical first kind of appearance of Wargreymon was that weird light that purified Megendramon. So we may end up, and there's been a few times where we've had a Digivolution not be the actual Digivolution sequence until later on. It's possible. Heavy Leomon this season? Yeah. Leomon dies for real next episode. Yeah, that was a weird one. Everyone seemed to. Well, I saw a lot of people being like, "Oh, Leomon died," and I'm like, "No, he didn't." Not knowing what is about to happen, at least plot-wise, does make things a little interesting. Still 25 or so episodes to go. No, there's more than that, or at least 25. But there's that Toei website for Europe said 66 episodes. I've not seen anyone of any actual authority at Toei or Bandai dispute that or provide alternate episodes, an alternate episode listing. So we're probably looking at 31 episodes more ish, maybe. Leomon died and Mimi get plus 2 memory. Exactly. Exactly. Curious about Lotmon getting a partner because that's the only holy trio that doesn't have a partner. Like in the whole franchise? Or just in the adventure? She doesn't tame us, right? Taking bets on if Leomon survives this next episode. Auntie has one booster of 1.0. They're execute order 66. Just found your channel, bro. Really glad I did, to be honest. I always looking for Digimon content. Well, thank you so much, Salty Beard. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Andromon and Ogamon returned. I think Ogamon died. Andromon died too. Maybe that data will get recompiled. Maybe we'll see Primary Village. Hey, what's up, DPSD? Really hope we see some of those environmental-based evolutions. Right, I like the idea, Edgar. That is something that I'm taking away, is I do like that concept. Just I hope it's not in isolation, you know. Hoping for Leomon to be corrupted and force DNA with Arudamon. Chaosmon would be crazy. Chaosmon would be crazy. Kid Ken to join them? Maybe Ken will show up. I'm so back and forth on 02. It's possible. I feel like maybe they might do Ken as a last minute teaser thing, or maybe Ken will be with Millennium Mon or something. I don't know, man. I'd like it to happen. I don't believe it's going to. He was technically just buried in plants, that's true. Do a new movie. That's my big hope, legitimately. I hope they do a movie. I hope they do something, like I've said before, Into the Taichi verse would be hilarious. Just bring, like, the V-Tamer Taichi, the new one, the old one. Maybe do a couple of the different ages of the original Adventure Taichi. You know, do like high school Taichi, grown-up Taichi, and kid Taichi. Lore of the game, Millenniumon can only be defeated by Leo. I mean Rio? And could be a 6th ranger. Yeah. I guess Kari and TK are the 6th rangers of this season. Children's parents seem to be almost absent. Yeah, I mean, we over the course of Adventure, we got a lot more of everyone else's parents. I think Koshiro's parents are the weirdly absent ones for me. Like, we've seen Tai's mum, you know. What if V-Tamer Tai and Zeromaro showed up in like a spin-off? I'd love them to do a V-Tamer thing. Again, my hope, because Vidramon is in the device toy, hopefully we'll get Vidramon. That would be lovely. Oh yeah, we did see Mimi. There's some Mimi's grandfather as well, right? Would 02 get new crests then? Maybe not. They could just have Digivices with 2 crests in. I don't know. I think they might replace Wargreymon and Metal Greymon with the Blitz versions, a way of saying how this will win the war again, but different. That's my current working theory, is that they keep doing Omnimon, but for some reason they can't do it anymore because the Holy Digimon have reformed or whatever, like they exist. My 2 big bets are probably, but most likely is Alter S. There's a chance we'll see Merciful Mode, but I don't think so. So yeah, I think Alter S is going to kind of be their ace in the hole against something, whether it's Millennium Mon or something else. Sora's cousin before anything else. Future appearances of Blitz. I guess maybe now it's in, because the lightning affected the Digivice as well. Like the lightning like crackled all around the Digivice. So maybe that energy is just in the Digivice now. My main criticism of the show is they're probably not going to justify it. He's done Blitz Greymon now, so he'll probably just get to do Blitz Greymon whenever he wants. Sora's mom actually spanked Sora. Great. In an interview I read, I remember the director saying that this reboot mixes V-Tamer stuff with some of the iconic parts of the OG show. If you've got a link to that, that'd be cool. I see a lot of the time, unfortunately, people will read something that comes up, but it's fucking like fan wikis and stuff that just get published as if they're not fan wikis. Like, so many people think that they're doing a dub for it. They're not. It's a fan wiki thing. You love the new animation for Wargreym's Evolution, the old hand-drawn esque art. What do you think? A movie done in Dragon... Think about a movie done in Dragon Ball S Broly. I know nothing about Dragon Ball. I've watched like a little bit of it as a kid. Yeah, Merciful Mode is the one from Try, which has the wings. Which would... The reason I think Merciful Mode would actually be good for this season is it would give a step up from Omnimon or Omegamon. And it would also... How am I going to phrase it? Like, it would give them a reason why all of the Megas had to be there. Because again, right now it feels like the Ty and Matt show. I'd be fine with a dub, but I don't know. I can read subs easily, so I don't really crave dubs. Don't use Discord, didn't have a second channel. Yeah, I barely use it. It was just where I used to upload a lot of my stuff that got copyright claimed. Because my YouTube channel got demonetized a while back for having copyright claims and stuff. I'm gonna start putting VODs up on there and stuff. Alter S Merciful Mode would be neat. That would be cool. Myotismon, I really hope we see Myotismon. I feel like what we're currently lacking, like we've kind of just put a button in what's going on with the whole ISS thing. I feel like now is a good time for either Myotismon or the Dark Masters or both to kind of come forward. But again, they could do something completely different. 2021 Digiball. I did it as a stream because I didn't have time to do it as a video because my mum was in hospital. Sorry. Was Blue Cordramon being evil? Any Digimon can be evil. Just however the writers write it, you know? It could be an evil Greymon. You do kind of need a focused bad guy. Yeah, and there's some implication that there is a bad guy outside of Millenniummon who's doing all this sabotage. But I don't fully understand. We don't fully know yet who that is. Doubt they need 30 more episodes for Millenniummon. Right, exactly. Exactly. Could be new Dark Masters, yeah. Only fine. I mean, I like dubs, but if a sub exists, I'm happy to watch it. I don't care. Mei and Meikumon? Ideally hope not. I hate those. Actually, no, I hate them in Try. They might be fine as characters in a reboot. Yeah, I'm not going to say that out loud. Every time they were saying that in the show, I'm like, that's an interesting word to say when you're not Japanese. What I want to touch on real quick, actually. Let's switch over to this view. Thanks to Blue Blitz, I guess, who put some screenshots up. So just to touch on it, I think that was nice. Metal Life Kuwagamon looked really cool. I think it was stiff, but it's obviously hard to animate Metal Life Kuwagamon because it is such like there's no articulation in these arms. I get that aspect of it. Blitzgreymon, yeah. Trop said the animation was pretty low. I get that. That's fine. They're the forms of the Dark Masters? Possibly. Yeah, they are definitely going to reunite. And then, yeah, this is so weird, man. I'm still just so baffled that this wasn't the Hercules Kabuterimon episode. Is he better than the original Devimon? I don't know. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed the Devimon arc. The original Devimon did some interesting things, like the castle and stuff, but ultimately got owned pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, also we got to bear in mind COVID is a factor, right? Shoutouts to With the Will for some of these preview screenshots. Again, like, it felt like such an Izzy episode with, like, the Metal Life Kuwagamon focus and stuff. I wonder if they changed something in production. It's very odd. Then also, this art is really nice of Blitzgreymon. I like that the human world is way more involved from the get-go. Right, I like that too. I feel like they could do a little bit better with that, but I like it enough. The only thing I don't like about Blitzgreymon is this bit here makes it look like he has a piggy nose or a dick. Two balls and a dot and a cock. Hercules Kabuterimon is electric base, so it would have fit with environmental digivolution, right? Izzy might get an alternate Evo with like Okuamon. I doubt it, but anything's possible technically. Why would I say that? Sorry, Drake. I just couldn't unsee it this episode. This art by Kenji Watanabe is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And then this is something, oh yeah, obviously we've got art of Tempomon, Histmon, and high quality art of Blade Kuwagamon, which you can't see because my head's in the way. Oh my god, I'm floating. I'm floating. But then interestingly, now this isn't Digimon Adventure related, but in a recent Toei Financial IR document under development deployment for their copyright-related business, they are currently expecting Digimon Survive to release in fall 2021. PS4 Switch is mentioned because it's getting the same hardware rollout that we done outside of Japan. So this is not big news because this is not a release date or anything like that, but it does give us an idea of where Toei currently thinks Digimon Survive is in development, right? Pretty big. Sorry to just drop that on you. But it's not actually that big because that's just where they expect it right now to let investors know. I think it could be sooner. Or if it's, I think it'll be fall, but it might be early fall. But I would not be surprised at another delay. But I think there's a good chance it'll be out this year. But yeah, the Pistmon is fine, I guess. I don't know. It's the lack of legs that freaks me out a little bit. Like its legs becoming the wheels is a bit freaky. Yeah, so this going forward, all of these streams will be public on YouTube. What I'm gonna do is unlist them because they need time to process, and I want to trim out the opening. But yeah, these will all be on YouTube. I like this Tempomon art. It reminds me of Vivi. I said it looks like Rocco from Pebble and the Penguin fucked Vivi. And then, yeah, Blade Kuwagamon. But yeah, this Survive news is interesting. There's also, GameBiz Japan has another not quite an update for Digimon. In an investor Q&A for recent financial results, a new Digimon title was mentioned as one of the titles being currently in development. We expect this isn't a title known to us, but it's likely just another untitled mention of the next Digimon story game, which they confirmed during a Digimon Survive game development video, or maybe a more generic mention of Survive. So that's kind of our roundup of Digimon news right now. There is obviously, at the end of the month, Battle of Omega is coming out. Wheel is not the leg. Oh, well, yeah, he's holding... Yeah, I guess. That's creepier, if anything. That he's got one random black hand. But then this bit of his penis is becoming the part of this wheel. So kind of, he's becoming the bike. Whether or not he's holding the wheel or not, he's still becoming the bike, and that's freaked out. Hey, what's up, Francis? How's it going? I am Carney-X. Also, on Digimon card game release, COVID and Brexit can eat my ass. Very frustrating that, and people saying you keep bringing up Brexit. I'm not bringing it up because I'm like talking about it politically. It's literally the reason Digimon card game got delayed in the UK. Digimon First Century for the smartphone? I mean, next century? But the Digimon card game, I've got a box coming in Tuesday, probably. Digimon First Century. Is that the Chinese game? Digimon New Century, that's what it's called. Yeah, that came out already, right? In China. Bit confused. Giant fossils were in the episode. I know they'll never see some love, but if they did, yeah, that's definitely interesting. Definitely be interesting to see what. I like the idea of ancient Digimon. Maybe that's kind of setting up 02. I think Rosemon is probably likely next episode, John. Yeah, I think that's likely. Yeah, Digimon cards. I had to go from an online store because my local game store didn't have any. So, yeah. Using my different account. Appreciate you, Francis. Maybe, but I doubt it. They already confirmed a Fanimon as a Mega. I don't see a reason why Holy Dramon, Magnadramon. Well, Magnadramon is in the Digivice. They might show it as a one-off. In the Digimon TCG fan game? No. I've seen a few of them, but I can't keep up with all of them. The main problem is a lot of them are using, because they have to add the cards manually. We want to use most recent cards, and that's why we usually use TTS. But if they are able to do TTS stuff, then let me know. Drop a link. I would love it if the Digimon card game got an official app that you could buy cards in and stuff, and like play the game. Lelouch just got a 1.0 box. That's all there is in the UK right now. Obviously, because that's the only thing that's been released, apart from the JP stuff, which I've bought bunch of JP stuff. I've got 2 boxes of Battle of Omega coming on the 26th. Well, no, it comes out on the 26th, which is when 1.5 is supposed to come out. It's weird. I've got 1.5 pre-ordered on Amazon because apparently Amazon has stock of it, or will have stock of it. But I don't know if that'll actually happen. But regardless, I will definitely have Battle of Omega cards. So me and Proto are going to do a pack battle video, and then I may do a stream of opening another box. 1.5 is March 12th in America. That delay has not been confirmed in the UK. Much like how we technically got 1.0 on the 29th. Just most people didn't get it because of Brexit. What deck? I've already built decks. I've got decks in TTS and IRL. I've got a red Omnimon deck. I've got a yellow recovery deck. I think that's all I've got physical. Obviously, I've got the structures. I mean, it might end up getting delayed, but we don't know. It's a possible delay. But, like I say, my LGS... The problem is I don't like how green plays in the TCG. I would make a bug deck, but there's nothing fun for me that I like playing. I prefer yellow and purple. I need to make a purple deck, actually. There's just not that enough decent purple cards in 1.0. Once 1.5's out, I'll be making a decent purple deck. Yeah, I mean, expect March 12th, but there's a chance. And if, like, Amazon is still saying February 26th. I don't know. Yeah, black is massively underrepresented in 1.0, which, to be fair, I'm not that mad about, because they could have gone the way that they could have gone the other way and just released the BTs, and then we would have been a full set. Like, if 1.0 wasn't a combo of the first 3, admittedly a very small amount of BT3, we would have had no black for 3 months. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I suppose. I'm a little bit annoyed at the Algamon restriction, because it kind of stunts its whole point, I guess. I haven't played Rearise in so long. I was considering streaming Rearise on Twitch, just as something to do that we can, like, talk about Digimon, and I can kind of disassociate. You think it would be Naruto? I know fuck all. I've never watched a single episode of Naruto. I know nothing about Naruto. English Rearise English version is very good that just came out. Rearise has been out in English for a while. Is that like a new thing? You ever be interested in ever doing a chat as a Digimon expert for Comic-Con Africa? I'm down. I'm definitely not a Digimon expert though. I'm far from a Digimon expert. Digimon World next order to PC Switch, that would be nice. That's, I think, something that Digimon is severely lacking in, is like ports. What other anime have I seen? So I don't typically like shonen anime. I'm not a big fan of like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, that kind of stuff. My kind of anime are, if I even watch anime, which I don't for really. Hey, what's up, Cody? I watch some of the anime that I really like: Death Note, Anohana, the movie Your Name, Digimon, obviously. Yeah, a port of 1 to 3 would be great. Megazoo. Megazoo is a lot of fun. It's a weird one where I like the concept of Megazoo, because it's very hard to brick it. But you kind of... it's the only deck I play where I'm like, I really want to go second, because there's so much Megazoo that you can't play on turn 1. And that can... I like the most basic anime. Okay. Because liking Dragon Ball and Naruto is elite. I don't think Anohana is normie at all, but okay. When I first watched Digimon in 1999 to the early 2000s, maybe, when it first started airing on Fox Kids in the UK, But also, I don't give a fuck about anime, by the way. I'm glad that I don't like anime. Anime fans are annoying as fuck. No, never watched Attack on Titan. Don't want to. Looks terrible. I was gonna watch... What was I gonna watch the other day? I've watched some, like, classic anime as well. Cowboy Bebop and, like, Akira and stuff like that. I'm only memeing on anime fans, by the way. Blue Eva Control. Yeah, Hex Blaumon's cool. Now you're good, Trav. I'm only fucking around. Appreciate your input. I'm looking for talent for the team to consider, and Digimon is close and dear to my heart. Yeah, man, I'm down. I'm always down to talk about Digimon. What was your favorite live action show? I can't pick. I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch like Netflix and stuff, obviously. I don't have live TV. We don't have like cable or whatever Americans call it. I only have Netflix. I watch a lot of YouTube. TV shows wise, like probably my favorite sitcom is How I Met Your Mother. Wish all the Digimon UIC has made a collab vid. I don't really know any of them. I've touched base with Shadow Shack and Omega Nyx. Like I've not really. I don't really. Digino is probably the only person that I know comments on my vids, and I wouldn't mind working with. I just don't really know any Digimon creators. I don't really watch Digimon content, so that's usually Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon. Yeah, Digimon themed birthday party. I don't believe so. I've had Digimon presents at my birthday, but I've not had a Digimon themed birthday. I don't think I've ever had like a Digimon cake or anything either. But Digimon is cool. Mentioned Dragon Ball Super movie doesn't matter, but if you can watch the trailer for the art style, gotcha. I've probably seen bits and pieces of that somewhere. You made Digimon Adventure 2020, how would you pace the episodes? Oh, that's such a big question. That's probably a video that I want to do at the end of this year, like a how to fix Digimon Adventure 2020. Imagine watching the content of the same theme you create. Right. I think I've never particularly, but I'm also not particularly interested in watching content about the niche interests that I want to make videos on, right? Because it's no. My Discord does not have to be Digimon. Nothing in my Digimon Discord has to be Digimon related at all. It's not a Digimon Discord. It's a community Discord for whatever you want. But yeah, I feel like that it's kind of threefold. I'm not particularly that interested in watching videos on Digimon unless it's like news, maybe. But then again, I don't really need videos for that. I tend to go straight to the source. The other factor is I don't want to step on anyone's toes or like start being like, oh, they're doing this, I should do this, you know, because I just want to make what I like making and get the feedback off people. And the third factor is I'm not influenced negatively by that. I don't think, oh, I don't like that person, and then the rivalries build up and you're like, oh, that person makes bad content. Or even worse is like, say I was watching Digimon content and I watched someone who did a top 10 armor video, and then next week I do a top 10 armor video. There's no way I can be like, I didn't copy him. But if I just don't watch Digimon content, then if we ever have a situation where two people do the same type of video, I didn't watch it. Flint the Time Detective. No, I haven't. Sonic Adventure 2 Chow fan. I played bits of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 on Dreamcast because I'm old. Remember Digimon Adventure starting on CITV. I've probably watched more of it on CITV, but I believe it was Fox Kids. My dad had Sky, my mum didn't, so my nana had Sky as well, so I'd always watch Digimon at hers. Yeah, YouTube fandom in general is incredibly toxic, and I think I am a boomer. I think the longer you spend in the trenches, like I made that mistake with Toku, it becomes very incestuous and fighty. And it doesn't have to. You can just like a thing and make content on it, and if you make some friends, that's great. I've made some amazing, like, lifelong friends from the Toku community, but we're friends outside of that now. But yeah, I think people get very in the trenches and fighty about shows for children. And like YouTube, yeah, YouTube's awful. Wish there was an Omegamon costume with the arms and stuff. That'd be cool. What Omnimon variant do you like the most? Probably Alter S. I've really grown to like it. I'm not a big fan of Zwart. I don't speak. Just want to say, calm before I go for now, is that I really enjoy your card opening videos. They're really funny and fun to watch. Thank you. I'm going to be doing more of those. I got a box of 1.0 coming. I'm going to do that as a video rather than a stream. And I'm probably going to do, I don't know, with Battle of Omega. We'll see. But Ultra S is probably my favorite Omnimon variant. Obviously, apart from NX. I watched a little Monster Rancher as a kid. I don't really remember much about it. I remember the big stone CDs. And the little eyeball guy. There isn't a Victory Greymon, Zed Greymon, Omnimon, no. Digimon app show for doing its own thing. I have not watched Applemon, and I really want to, but I was put off by the whole, like, full reboot thing, but I think... I like the idea of Digimon doing new things. I think that's the biggest, coolest thing about Digimon, is it's not stale. Every season, even 02, which is a continuation of Adventure, did something massively different, and I think that's what's always been great about Digimon, and I think will continue to be good about Digimon. Which Leomon is coming next week? I don't know. We try and play this episode without getting copyright strike. Alright, take it easy, Cardistry. Big boy. Gonna meet my output capture 1 sec. So, looking at it, yeah, where are we? It just looks like Leomon. I'll be honest with you. Hold on. There you go. I think that's just Leomon. Like, it could be Regulusmon, it could be Panjamon, I guess. I think that's just Leomon. Digimon season. Tamers is really good. Tamers is really good. Leomon's not going to be in the episode. Then why is he the character profile? I'm so confused. You've ever watched 02 English and Japanese side by side? I've seen some videos on YouTube, but I've not watched it. Right, but almost every time the Pedia is... Also, how do you know he's not going to be in? He could be right at the very end. Heard your Pokemon comparisons, but never heard your stance of it. I like Pokemon. I'm a Johto babby. Well, no, I'm actually a Gen 1 babby, but I prefer Johto. Oh yeah, Regulusmon does have wings, that's true. I always forget about that, because he barely fucking showed up in V-Tamer. Yeah, man, if you like try, that's fine. I didn't. I couldn't stand it, but... Maybe Leomon Evolution next week. Yeah, or they might just be doing the encyclopedia for no reason. It's not out of the realms of possibility. But yeah, I like Pokemon. Johto, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Gold and Silver Crystal, love them. I liked X and Y, fine. Black and White are really good. I will be doing, there's going to be a Pokemon thing at the end of the month. We know that Post Malone's performing, but hopefully there will also be some news and stuff. See, I don't know where this thing's come from, Aluni, that not many people like Frontier, because every person I've seen online loves Frontier. I've never encountered a bunch of people that hate it until I said that people like Frontier. So I think maybe you just end up paying more attention to the haters. Like, I don't love Frontier, but I feel like I see a lot of love for it, at least on Twitter, which is where I'm mostly on. Like Makumon, I like the idea of a Digimon virus. Yeah, I like the concept, it just didn't come together well. But yes, Pokemon, sorry. I will be... I don't do a lot of Pokemon, but I like Pokemon. I think the thing that Pokemon has is a bigger modding scene and like a hacking scene and stuff. And more news. Digimon, there's a lot of YouTubers, Pokemon tubers, who are basically able to make a new video every day about Pokemon news all year. And that's not the case for Digimon, which I think it's gotten closer to the case. But I think that's the one thing Pokemon always has, is that stuff's always happening, whereas Digimon kind of has slow weeks and then, you know. Currently playing Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Any recommended one? Haven't played it. I'm the worst Digimon fan. I can't get through Cyber Sleuth. I keep trying to get through Cyber Sleuth so I can play Hacker's Memory. Can't do it. I'm maybe because I started it on stream and I feel like I'm obligated to finish it on stream. Can't get through it. But I was never... So this is the thing. A lot of Digimon fans seem to have a big lean to the video games. I didn't play a lot of the video games growing up. I played a lot of World, but was really bad at it. Hacker's Memories is like a sidequel. Not quite a prequel, from what I've been told. Like, it starts as a prequel, I think. I don't know. But anyway, regardless, it came out afterwards, and I started Cyber Sleuth first. Shame UK never got any Monster Rancher games. Did we not get one of them? I feel like I saw a friend who had Monster Rancher on PS1. Maybe it was an import or something. But yeah, I played World 1 a lot, but was bad at it because we didn't have the guide or anything when I was a kid. And then I don't even know if I played any of the Rumble games. I might have done with like friends. I feel like I have a memory of playing it. I have a memory of Digimon World 4 and seeing Digimon World 3. But then the first game that I like played to completion was Dawn. And that was 15 years ago or whatever the fuck, whenever it came out on DS. I haven't played it since. And then I didn't touch Digimon games for a long time. I watched Digimon. Like, I, sort of was around Digimon a lot and rewatched Digimon, but I guess I just really never cared for maybe that's because I prefer other games. Like, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy fan, stuff like that. But yeah, I just totally did not play, and maybe because they weren't very common in the UK. Because, I mean, until 10 years ago, I was probably exclusively buying games from physical stores. So maybe I just didn't see much Digimon stuff on the shelves of, like, Blockbuster or whatever. Playing new World Order, it's hard for no damn reason. Monster Rancher 1 HD release on the Switch, nice. I had the Dreamcast, the PS2, and the PS2. We had a friend who brought an Xbox over. Oh, console history, that's a whole other fucking ball game. Digimon World 4 to death, was super stoked at the time, nice. Cyber Sleuth is growing up Digimon? Kinda. More adult, I guess. 02's super good. Who's my Digimon waifu? I don't have one. I've never gotten into like waifu wars or anything like that. Wanna love the Cyber Sleuth games with the story. Yeah, I think that's my problem is I go to stream it and I'll stream for like 2 hours. And I'm just I'm just tired, like, by the end of it, and nothing's happened. Think about Disney buying anything, everything. I think a monopoly is always a bad idea. But it has led to some cool things, I guess. The WandaVision stuff right now is pretty crazy. Battling is amazing. Battling's fun. Like Adventure on PSP, yeah, I enjoyed that too. Did a mobile app game called Rear Eyes. Yep, played a lot of Rear Eyes, and it's fine. Probably the best Digimon app we've had. But the loading issues, even with the UI changes, are diabolical. And when there isn't story to play, the game's really fucking boring. I don't care about the competitive scene at all. Shikuamon is the best. No, it isn't, Mega Seth. I don't care. I don't like Shikuamon. Wormmon has the best armored form ever. Poochymon? Oh no. PS1, Mega Drive, and Game Boy Color. I had a lot of consoles. Still have a lot of consoles. They're an English dub of Colon 2020. Which company will do it? Could it be Funimation? Maybe. I don't know anything about dubbing companies. To pay to win? Right, exactly. Gacha is always pay to win, but it's what I think of Justimon? Love Justimon. It's my game to play on the weekends. Among Us at the moment. I've been playing a lot of Among Us with friends for the past year. Jesus. Maybe less. Non-multiplayer wise, I haven't had a sit down and play game for a long time. Because a lot of the games that I'm excited for aren't out, or, whatever. Right now on my Switch, I have, in fact, I can show you probably. I started playing Bowser's Fury today. That's a good game. I play the game on Game Boy Advance called Digimon Battle Spirit. Download an emulator. Mario 3D World would be a fun game to stream. Yeah, it would. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone that's got it. And also COVID, so I can't get people to come over and do it local. Some games on my Switch right now. 3D World. Panzer Paladin, I really want to play. Among Us, Jay and Bob, I'll play a bit of that. Immortals Phoenix Rising is one I might start streaming. Hades, Taken no Tatsujin is always fun. AC, I was obsessed with for a while. Do you like platformers? Like a platform, or like a Crash Bandicoot. I need to get Crash 4. Actually, that's one that I just totally slept on. I really want to play. Hades is such a great game. Yeah, Hades is one that I've been not been sleeping on, but I've had, and I'm just like, yeah. My mum crocheted these. She also made me a Pororumon, which I can't find right now. Yeah, Crash 4 is coming to that. I've got a PS4 as well. I could have gotten Crash already, but I just didn't because I'm a piece of shit. Also, because games cost like 50 fucking quid now. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, you probably can tell that I'm I have an affinity for one particular franchise. And that's not even like, oh dude, I have so many copies. I have so many copies of Final Fantasy games, digital, physical, all sorts. Like, I currently own a 360 and Wii. So yeah, let's go through my console history real quick. Sega Mega Drive. Nintendo wasn't very popular in the UK, so I didn't have Nintendo consoles until the N64, PS1, PS2. I now own the original Xbox, but I didn't have it at the time. I haven't tried FF14. I hate MMOs usually, but I might give it a go. Yeah, I wonder what it could be, eh? I am down for some Final Fantasy videos though. From the PS1 to the PS2. Oh no, Dreamcast before that. PS2, Wii, 360. There's more I've missed. Obviously, all the Nintendo handhelds. PSP, PS3, 360, Wii, PS4. Haven't got an Xbox One. Switch. I currently own the Switch, PS4, 360, Wii, Mega Drive, Master System 2, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, PSP, Nintendo 3DS, obviously, Nintendo DS. Do I have any other consoles hidden away? Crystal Xbox in storage. N64 in storage. I've got a bunch of consoles that I just have because I went through a big console phase. 11 got 7, holding off till part 2 comes out. Oh, you might be waiting a while. You might be waiting a long while. Where's my console switcher gone? I'm gonna switch to my PS4 and show you Final Fantasy 7 Remake, but doesn't matter. No, Bowser's Fury is included. You can either choose to play 3D World or Bowser's Fury. They're separate. Totally dig a Final Fantasy video. Awesome. Yeah, I've got the Royal Edition of 15 on PS4. I am very excited for Digimon Survive. I think it's going to be good. FF15 DLC. Hints to FF16. Are you sure? They didn't finish the FF15 DLC properly. Guamon is best. Shakamon is the best. Well, if you spell it right. I'll see me living rent-free in my head since March. Agreed. I don't know. I'm not that excited about FF16 because I don't like Game of Thrones, and it looks like Final Fantasy's version of Game of Thrones. Gonna go. Yeah, I'm actually gonna end this stream now because I think we've covered everything of note for this week's episode, and then just talked for ages. Oh yeah, Survive's a day one stream on Twitch, not on YouTube. But Survive is a day one stream, no doubt. No doubt about it. Oh, Shakamon. You're talking about Shaka. But you were trying to troll me with Shakuamon. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's stream. Spyro 4 would be fun. I like Spyro. I love Spyro 3, weirdly. Spyro 3 was my favorite Spyro game. Want to share some art on your channel that isn't Digimon? I know vaguely about My Hero Academia. My Hero Macadamia Nuts. Season with adult cast. That could be interesting. The hints are there. Yeah, you can share it on the Discord for sure. Like I say, unless you're breaking the rules on the Discord, it's not a Digimon channel. Like, this channel isn't even technically a Digimon channel. I've just been doing a lot of Digimon content for a while. Future Digimon seasons rotating the secondary cast members instead of a full-on new group. I'd be okay with that. It's better to me Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. Oh, probably Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has kind of gone. I've been with Kingdom Hearts since it came out, and I think because it's a continuing narrative, I think we've gotten to the point where I'm just tired. I think the standalone nature of Final Fantasy and the high points of Final Fantasy, I think, are higher than the highest Kingdom Hearts points, but I think overall, I probably would play Kingdom Hearts recreationally. But yeah, I think I prefer Final Fantasy to Kingdom Hearts. Just, it's close. The only thing I said about Frontier was they only got the 2 Fusion Spirit evolution. Oh, only the 2 got the Fusion Spirit for Susanimon. They could have done way more with that. I think if they'd have done Spirits and like DNA Digivolution in Frontier more, it would have been crazy. Which Final Fantasy slaps the hardest for myself? It's always goes back and forward between 7 and 10. Right now I'd say 7, but that's because I haven't replayed 10 in a while. But again, it's not just about just 7 and just 10 for me. It's always going to be about the worlds and like this, like, you know, 10, 10-2, stuff like that. And like 7 is always intrinsically tied to like Crisis Core for me, Advent Children, and like overall FF7 remake now. Right now. Oh, the Human and Beast Spirit fusion. Anyway, I think that's what we're going to go for today. Overall, I would give this episode of Digimon Adventure 2020 6 out of 10. I want to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 5. I think it blue balled us with the Hercules Kabuterimon, and I think the debut for Blitzgrimmon was not great. But, you know, Metal Life Quagmon was fun. Oh, it's so much more than that. Dendevimon. Kingdom Hearts is crazy. Yep, they did. FF10 leads to FF7. FF7 is the far future of FF10. Do I drive? No, I don't drive. But you don't really need to in Wales. Right, that's it. Thank you all so much for coming out. I appreciate you very much. As always, if you want early access to videos and stuff, you can become a channel member, but you don't have to. Thank you for just watching the streams. Sure does drop. That's a video I wanted to do a while ago, but I feel like a bunch of people have already done a video on the whole far plane Marco thing. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. And until next time, shout outs to all the channel members. Shout outs to all of you for hanging out. And I'll be streaming on Twitch on Tuesday and Thursday. And then we'll be back here on Sunday on YouTube to talk about next week's episode. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'll see you at the next one. Bye, guys.